Good evening. I'd like to call to order this evening's Legal Affairs Committee. This evening we're joined by Legal Affairs Committee members Councilors McGinn, Councilors Melville, Councilors Peach, and Councilors Turco. We're also joined by our fellow councilors. Tonight's agenda item is regarding the purchase and settle agreement for 166-R Main Street, and which of course is going to be part of the Riverwalk project. And this evening we're joined by His Honor Mayor Ted Betancourt and City Solicitor Don Kahn, who can kind of give us an overview of not only this particular parcel, but as well as the whole process that the city is taking regarding this purchase. I'll turn it over to Mr. Mayor. Welcome.
Great, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Council. Hope everybody's doing well. Very happy to be here today. Along with our City Solicitor, Don Kahn, I wanted to mention our Finance Director, Mike Gingras, is here as well, and Brendan Callahan, our Assistant Director with our Community Development Office. And he's really been a key player in this, putting this all together. But I'm very excited to present, I think, the next big step for us in terms of our pursuit of the Riverwalk, which has been something that's been talked about in the city for decades. And we've been taking steps along the years here, and this is the next big step that I wanted to bring forward. I think you have the paperwork, certainly the assessment card, assessor's record card, property card for the property. We have the release and settlement agreement, the summary appraisal report from Howard Dano, who has done work for us in the past. The report is very lengthy. I think you have the key parts to it. His curriculum vitae, the specific vote language that we would need, and then also correspondence that Attorney Kahn had put together some time ago regarding these proposals and the legal work behind it. This is very similar and it's the same process that we did when we purchased the 80 acres of land up behind the Welch School, up behind the Meadows Golf Course, up behind Spring Pond. It's the same exact way we're moving forward. It's a friendly 40B, friendly 40B. Too many of that. It's a friendly eminent domain agreement that was reached through some negotiation and an agreement on hiring a mutually agreeable appraiser to come in and do the work for us. This property is owned by Chris Bibby. You may remember this property. This property has a history. At one point, many years back, I want to say 20 years ago, there was a proposal to build, my memory is hundreds of units of housing. It was the Bibby Cohen property that there was proposals made, and I even think there was a vote at one point. Then through the years, there was a number of property disputes and different issues that popped up, and we got the opportunity very recently to purchase this property and add it to what we've done for that Riverwalk. Just a reminder of the Riverwalk project. It's 5 main parcels that run from the post office on Wallace Street all the way down almost to the Salem line. And the 5 key parcels are property behind which actually owns the post office behind the library. That's owned by Al DeMambro and his family. The second parcel was 24 Caller Street, which was the old Clark Barrel site. That was a couple years ago. We purchased that site for the Riverwalk, and that's under our ownership. The third is the 21 Caller Street. That is a property owned by Bagarella, mixed-use building over there. We have a proposed easement to utilize a path for this Riverwalk. The fourth is the Holy Ghost. Everybody's familiar with the Holy Ghost. There's a little piece that they own. They actually own a couple of slivers. We have an agreement in place for an easement for that property, and then the Bibby property that's in front of us today. So I feel confident saying that we would have 4 of the 5 parcels lined up. There's been great support in terms of money that's available to us and been provided to us already for the Riverwalk project. It's a project that I know the state is very enthusiastic and very excited about, and hopeful that we can lock up the 5 parcels in order to move forward with this proposal. So I'm very excited to take this step forward. Certainly available to answer any questions, Attorney Kahn, Mr. Gingras. This would be funded through 2 areas. It would not be something that's a part of our budget. It's not something that we would have to bond out for. This would be a payment made at the time of closing. You may recall when we did the 80 acres, there was a whole process we had to go forward in terms of 60 to 90 days. This is different. It's going to be funded through two sources. One is a block grant, $450,000 that we needed to get approval from the state, which we did get, which is good news. And then also the additional 185 will be through, and I have to propose this to you at the next meeting, it would be funded through the sale and purchase of real estate that we have. It's an account that we, when we buy, we sell, kind of stays into that one account. So this would not be something that would go forward towards any bonding, not be something that would be in our annual budget. This would be a one-time payment when we close, probably in 60 days out, that we'd be able to make the payment at that time, take ownership, and then move forward, hopefully, with further planning for the Riverwalk project. Happy to get into more details on that. Any questions from Attorney Khan? You may remember, like we did with the 80-acre purchase, this was an agreement that was reached. There's language in there that waives all rights to an appeal to court in terms of what the number is. That has been settled and agreed to. There's a waiver language that releases any claim to come back at us on some sort of court action. The number has been established, and we just be moving forward. So certainly get into more detail and answer any questions, but I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Chairman, and open it up.
Thank you, Mayor Betancourt. At this time, I would like to see if we can receive late communications 1 and 3. Can I get a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
You've heard the motion. On the motion, any discussion? All in favor? It's a vote. Thank you. I'd like to open it up to committee members at this time for questions or comments. Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the mayor did an excellent job framing this, so I don't have a lot to add. The parcels in Ward 2, it's key to the furtherance of this Riverwalk plan, as the mayor mentioned. It's been a vision of this city for decades, and we're inching closer here, and we've made more progress here in recent years than in all those years combined, really, in terms of real action, in terms of getting the land in place and the fine work that's been done by Mr. Daly, always keeping this important project in front of us. With the funding mechanism really in place, it's not going to create any kind of a burden from the city. We're talking about the majority of it coming from a block grant and other funds that have already been identified. So suffice to say, I'm in full support of this, and Mr. Chairman, I'd be ready to make motions as necessary when you deem that appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn. Any other councilors? Councilor Turco?
Thank you. Very briefly, Mayor, after the, you take the $185,000, or if that's close to the number that you need to take out of the sale of public property, what's the residual balance? Do you know offhand? Or through you to Mr. Gingrich, Mr. Chairman?
Somewhere over 300. So if everybody heard it, he said somewhere around 300,000 would remain after the $185,000 payment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Turco. Councilor Peach?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to reiterate what Councilor McGinn said. This is such an important project, and this parcel is key to that. With Ward 3 being right over there across the river, I think this project is going to be great. I just wanted to commend Brendan Callahan, who's I believe he's probably responsible for that block grant that we got, along with many other grants we've gotten for this project. So to see that we can purchase this property to move forward with this project and have it not really hit the taxpayers is very important, and I'm glad you highlighted that, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
And thank you, Councilor Peach, and I appreciate you doing that, because this really has been a great deal of work by Brendan, certainly Kurt Bellavance and the whole community development team, but this has been something that Brendan's been working on now for years, and we're taking these very positive steps, and I'm really excited that I think this can happen. So thank you for those words.
Any other councilors have any questions or comments at this time? Seeing none at this time, Councilor McGinn, if you'd like to offer the two motions, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Move as follows. Ordered that the City Council of the City of Peabody hereby, that the City Council of the City of Peabody on behalf of the city and by virtue of and in accordance with the authority of the provisions of Chapter 79 of the Massachusetts General Laws as amended and the City Code of the City of Peabody, Massachusetts, Part 1, Charter Section 35, condemnation of land for municipal purpose, and of any and every other power and authority which is hereunto in any way enabling, adopts an order of taking to acquire for preservation of open space and to facilitate passive recreation together with the attendant customary purposes and uses, and for all appurtenances related thereto, take fee ownership interest in a parcels of land known and numbered 166 Rear Main Street, Peabody, Essex County, Massachusetts, the property, and more particularly described in a deed dated September 27, 2002, from Bob Cat Tanning Company Incorporated to Riverwalk Place LLC, recorded with the Essex South Registry of Deeds at Book 19564, page 291, and to accomplish the foregoing, execute the order of taking presented to us this day by council, and further award $635,000 as damages for such taking to the land affected by said taking in the City Council, September 28th, 2023. So moved.
Councilors, you've heard the motion from Councilor. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilors Turco,
Yes.
Peach,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Council McGinn?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Move as follows. Ordered that the City Council of the City of Peabody hereby take such action as is necessary to acquire by eminent domain the easements in a parcel of land in Peabody, Essex County, Massachusetts, the property, and more particularly described in an order of taking presented to us this day by council to effectuate the Riverwalk project and to award a total of $635,000 as damages for such taking to the land affected by said taking in accordance with the schedule of awards set forth in such taking in the City Council, September 28th, 2023. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Council, you've heard the motion from Councilor McGinn. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilors Turco,
Yes.
Peach,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
O'Neill.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, councilors. That concludes our agenda for this evening. I'll now entertain a motion to adjourn. On the motion, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call. I don't know what I'm doing with a roll call vote. Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you.